Let me get him, okay?
Yeah, and Conrad. Okay.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. I'm waiting for your.
No, you can go ahead.
Can you say essentially what you hope to achieve by today's gathering?
Yeah, I'll see. Basically, what we hope to achieve is to deal with convening the industry on two levels. One, to encourage their social responsibility, and at another level, to deal with the fact that many of them are being profiled and victimized only because they're in the hip-hop culture. Too many of them are held to different standards. If a baseball player throws a bat at the World Series, baseball's not given a black eye. But if a hip-hop artist gets into a fight, all the hip-hop artists are gangsters. So at one level, we want to support them not being profiled, and at another level, develop constructive ways that they can help to build and empower the community. And I think when you see people like Master P and Puffy Combs and others come up to Harlem today and join Dave Mays and I, that this is the beginning of a new day. And I think that this will have serious social, cultural, and political ramifications.
Do you hope to have sort of a concrete bill of rights?
We hope to come out with a code of ethics that will be announced by Dr. King's birthday and signed and brought in. We hope also, as Minister Conrad has said, that there will be some that will run for office. And there will be a political movement to this, which is why we were glad that he co-convened, and I wanted him in on this. So there's going to be a lot of definite plans. Master P has called for a union. At the end of the day, there may be a lot of things that comes out, but clearly we're trying to do something constructive and to really deal with the fact that hip-hop artists have the cultural influence of the day. It should be used in a constructive way. When we saw what happened at the Source Awards and how they would demonize the whole industry, it led to our conversations with Dave Mays, Minister Conrad, and Frank Mercado and I. And Minister Conrad's been in this a long time. And we said, let's have a summit and talk. And when we reached out to Russell and Puffy and others, they said, let's come to the table. And that's what you saw today.
On the podium, you talked about why you're involved in this, why this is important to folks who are not even a part of the hip-hop industry, but African Americans.
We all are influenced by the industry. Our children are in the hip-hop generation. The culture itself, how we dress, how we talk, the music we listen to, we all are influenced by it. So today, hip-hop is what rock and roll was in the 50s, what rhythm and blues was in the 60s. How do you not deal with the industry that is the cultural driving force? And if they're willing to come to the table and deal with how to be constructive and accountable. I mean, Minister Conrad challenged him on some things today. And accountable, what could be more positive than that? So as America looks at Manhattan today, on the southern part of the island, we're dealing with the sports phenomenon. On the northern part of the island, we're dealing with the music phenomenon. All of it is what American culture has become today.
What does the heavy turnout today of artists and industry professionals say about, in your estimation, about what Reverend Sharpton is trying to do and directing some of the power?
I think for too long, the positive, so many positive things that hip hop has given to our community has been just whisked away by the media, and also at times definitely people have just concentrated on the negative things that happen in everybody's life. We're all human beings, and there are different things that are going to happen to us. And the way people came out today was just a calling out for people to get together and recognize all the positive things that hip hop does and the positive effect that hip-hop has on our communities. And you've seen from all walks of the hip-hop life, whether it's the executives or the artists or the writers, for the hip-hop magazines come out today for calling for us just to work together and make sure that we also learn from one another. Because a lot of times we have separate companies and we're all like doing it separately. But if we could get together at times and exchange ideas in different ways to make sure that we stay on the right positive path, I think it could be nothing but proactive.
Unless I'm mishearing what the Reverend said, he also talked about having people in the industry be accountable for some of the negative things. I mean, is that?
Oh yeah,
how difficult is that going to be? How willing are people? You know?
I mean, I think people are definitely willing to be accountable. One of the things that people in the media has to understand about hip hop is a mirror of what's going on inside the community. So if you don't like the negativity that you're hearing, we need to figure out things that we could do to change the negativity that's happening within our communities, and that's starting with education. Look at our schools right here in Harlem. We're in the age of the greatest age of new media and communication ever with the internet, and there's not the kids up in Harlem don't have computers on their desks. The emphasis right now with the political race, I don't hear enough about education. Look at our parks. The environment that you cage the kids in, you're just going to get that back in hip-hop, from hip-hop, and sometimes it's going to be negative because that's what they're seeing. But also at the same time, as hip-hop grows and I grow up as an executive and as an artist and Dave grows, we're not as young as we used to be. Some of us have kids like myself now, and things that we would have said before, we wouldn't say today. And some of the wisdom that we've gained, I try my best to make sure that I pass it down to my artists so they understand. And also, from a label head, I have to have a level of accountability. And I think that's something that everybody that has come today has accepted.
I think also the difference is that when you have people like Minister Conrad, like myself and others that fight on the front line, when we talk, we're not censoring. We're talking out of love. They know we will go on the battle line. There are others that just take shots at them to become the favorites of the right wing, and I think that that's important, which is why it was important Dave hook up with Minister Muhammad and Puffy and all of us to do this. The other thing I think that becomes important is that no one fights for them when they are the victims. And I think that is something that we heard today. But negativity is also an eye of a beholder. I mean, Chuck D got up and used language that some of us would not use. So negativity is in the eye of the beholder. He's one of the most positive rappers that have ever lived. So I think that we've got to deal with it. The main thing is to all get in the room and begin dealing with it. And that's what we started with this morning.
Besides all of these, well-meaning resolutions that you hear from the stage today, who's going to carry forward?
We are.
Who's going to lead
We are.
concrete steps and organizations to develop?
We're going to do it. That's why all of us are in here. All of us have the track record that we don't just have meetings. When we start something, we say we're going to do a national tour, we're going to do it. When we say we're going to do a union, we're going to do it. When we say we're going to do these town hall meetings, we're going to do it. Because you're talking to people that do this all the time. So clearly, this is not just some promoters having an event. These are people that lead movements and lead record companies and lead magazines. We're committed to this. Black History Month in the Source is going to be around this. We're committed to this for the long haul. This is not a one-night stand. This is a marriage in the hip-hop community.
Can you talk about your involvement and what you hope will come out of this summit today?
I had got a call last week from Dave Mays and Reverend Sharpton, and they told me that today was for us to come together and just talk about the positive things that we're going to have in the future as far as promoting hip-hop in a positive way. And that's my involvement, basically, to be a leader in hip-hop. No matter days that I'm going to make mistakes, days that I'm going to be on top, I'm going to be always forging forward to make sure that I uphold my level of responsibility that I've been blessed with by the hip-hop community, and I'm working towards the overall outcome to have hip-hop perceived on a worldwide level as the positive thing that it has been to our community.
Where were the female rappers and hip-hop artists, and why aren't they in the
It's not over with. You got...
Some of them are here. Queen Pen is here. We had,
give us some feedback on how you're gonna make that better?
Sure, we can put down with your camera if you can get that.
there's a many tremendous, positive and strong women in the hip hop community, both artists from, the obvious Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah, and so on down to many of the women executives. We had a number of them here today, from the Gene Riggins, president of Black Music at Universal, to the women who spoke, Erica Ford and other folks there. And I think that we're committed coming out of this to addressing all of the issues that are within the hip-hop community, be them having to do with women violence or anything else, and committed to showing the world that we'll come together and that we do care about these things. Just the fact of these people being here all together today, all of us showing up, the tremendous energy that's in that room there today is a demonstration of that commitment, that we care about this and that we're not what the world makes us out to be. And in fact, some of the media here today reinforces about us.
All right, thank you. We got a break. We got to go back in. Okay, go ahead, Master P, then we're going in.
You talked a lot about a union, how you're going to impact your fellow artists. How effective will this be with the artists on the front line?
Well, basically, I think a union would be effective because going through the head of the record company chairs, people like myself and other company owners would be able to make an establishment, make a court of order where every artist that's coming out, whether they new or been in the game, have some type of stability. And I think the union would be so effective because now you're dealing with dollars and cents. And everybody in this business is in it for dollars and cents. And I think when you get back to that avenue and then building a foundation with the community, building educational programs, I think that we done came a long way just to even be able to sit down and talk about something like this and build a strategy and being able to come up and take something to where it ain't no limit tomorrow.
So you think the younger artists coming up with something to gain?
Oh yeah, well I think, you know what, as an artist, the music eventually stops, and what are we going to do after the music is over? But building a union, I mean, you always have something in it where you always get something out of it in the end. I think you build a future for your kids, you build another life for yourself tomorrow when the music, when you're not a #1 seller record, you know. I mean, you have somewhere to look for and you have something coming in. It's almost like getting a check. Knowing that you're going to have a check tomorrow is willing on how hard you work today.
There's a line of hip-hop books that's coming out that's being marketed towards young black males, 16 to 25, very, I guess, gangster rap lyrics. Yeah. And it's encouraging blacks to read. That's the whole premise. However, the critics say that, you know, you're filtering poison into the minds of young blacks. You're getting them to read, but you're still giving them negative.
Well, I mean, like I say, that's like watching a Steven Seagal movie. You know, I mean, you got to teach your kids that's what's right and what's wrong. I think kids could read whatever they want. You know, they know what not to read and they know what to read. So I think you got to realize, and I think we got to start judging ourselves and understand what we want and what we want out of life and how we want to portray our kids, how we want to portray our family. I mean, the freedom of speech is, I mean, anything I put out have a parental advisory sticker on it. So I think that it got to start at home where you building a foundation with your kids. You can't point the finger and say, oh, just because they listened to that music, they went out and did something wrong and committed a crime.
I guess my question is more so, if it's encouraging young blacks that, you know, the age group of 16 to 25 black males that may not otherwise pick up a book and read it, it's encouraging them to read regardless of what the nature is.
Well, I think if you do make something like that, you got to make it, like I said, make a negative into a positive. You got to put some kind of avenue in there where they can get something out of it, educational wise, something to make them want to change. I mean, if you got to get their attention by that rap music, then you got to be able to give them something back, and I think that's the realism to the music. Understanding, okay, what's beyond just the book that you read or the lyrics that you heard. I mean, when I make a song because it's like a movie. This is what happened, and in the end, I don't want this to happen to you. Maybe I went through it, so if I give you my point of view, you don't have to go through it.
Reverend, you talked about forming maybe building this into a political movement. What do you mean by that?
Well, if the hip-hop community is involved in voter registration, if they are convened in cities to run candidates, clearly they have the youth vote could determine the outcome of elections. And as we see the politicizing of people like Russell Simmons and others, and you see Master P and Puffy standing with people like Conrad Muhammad and me, there are political implications of that. And they should vote their interests. They should participate based on their interests. And that is some of the things we're going to be discussing today. But I think clearly they define the leaders and the spokespersons and the political figures that they relate to, which is why we didn't have this downtown at a hotel. We had it in Harlem. And we had it at an organization that takes political stands to make it clear that we are not going to be the punching bag of right-wing politicians.
Master P, will you be organizing this rap union? People who are the chief organizers of the organizers?
Oh yeah, well I'm the founder of this union, and I will make sure that the staff is based upon leaders in the rap business that is well respected and willing to participate to make the change. And I think, I mean, it's just a start. Yeah, I know there's going to be all kind of unions after this, but I think there's something great that we needed to build a future for tomorrow. Because I mean, I think what happened right now, rappers come and go because we don't have nothing else to look forward to. You know, and we don't know that the music going to stop. When you hot, just like Reverend said, when you hot, everybody thinking about what's happening today. But rappers really don't know, what if I live to see 40, 50 tomorrow? What's going to happen with my life? What type of world I'm going to live in? And I think that's what this union is about, educating and also building a foundation for youth facilities for kids that might not even be into music, something that we could give back from the money we make from the music.
Mr. Pete, the Minister Muhammad here offered that challenge, issued the challenge to rappers, talking about policing themselves, and specifically talked about lyrics that degrade women, and that he said human dignity being the baseline. What do you think about that challenge, and how do you get artists to go along with that?
You know what? Like I said, everything that came out of me come from ignorance. I didn't know. And I think by getting with these guys, building a foundation, I think a lot of the kids that's saying that type of music really don't know. My music come from all what I know, that's it. So you can't prejudge me, but now that I get a chance and I'm in an opportunity to grow, I'm willing to grow. In the research, use encyclopedias to grow my mind. I mean, I had to educate myself. And that's what people got to realize. I'm not like the rest of these guys around here. But I educated myself enough where I could get the wealth, and now I'm going to make myself out a better person because I do want to be here tomorrow. And if I am going to be here, I want to make sure my family got a legacy when I'm gone, that they can look back and say, you know what, this guy started off on the wrong road, but he picked it up. And I didn't end up in the dead end. And I think that's what my life, I mean, I'm really not trying to be the perfect person for everybody, but I'm trying to be as better as I could be as a person. I'm not going to be the person that everybody going to say, you know what, I want to be like Pete. But what I did was, financial-wise, I learned how to get into the system to make the money and learn independence to own yours, and not venturing off into other business and other avenues. And the music was just a stepping stone for me. I'm way beyond the music. I mean, if you just judge me by my music, you probably wouldn't like me. But if you get to know me, Percy Miller, I think then you'll understand where I come from.
What about other artists who are trying to be like you in terms of making the kind of money that you've made?
Well, I mean, I think that is a great independence thing. I mean, artists normally come in and just sell their rights. You know, sell they masters, sell their songs, and that's all they end up being. They working a job. I'm teaching them how to be independent. So my part of the music is my frustration. Somebody else's frustration, it might not be. You know, they might have been seen what I done seen. You know, I done been through everything that you could think about. You know, and to me, this music is just another blessing for me. And I think for other artists, I think it's the same way, whether you're from the north, south, east, or west. Everybody got their own story, and they got their own view. You know, and I take my head off to the ones that's standing from their side. 10 years from now, I think hip-hop will be off in space somewhere. No, it ain't no limit to hip-hop. That's how I see it.
Master P and RZA in particular, do you guys think that censorship, you know, as far as the things you say and the things, the way you portray yourself in video are positive to use, or do you plan on changing what's happening as far as the approach to that?
I mean, as far as how we look on TV?
Right.
I say how we look is just a reflection of who we are and what we do every day. I don't think you're going to really change how we look, but at the same time, if you look at videos these days, you see them from one angle as giving you a street story, then you got the fantasy story. I mean, videos that went to space. The new Wu-Tang video is based 2 million BC. So it's like, it's just entertainment also. Y'all got to also respect that what we doing is entertaining y'all, you know what I mean? And so you can't be so critical on what our last video was or your new video is going to be, because it's entertainment. But within those words, though, we always try to slip a message in and give an example of life, so that the person who is listening to that music right there, if he looking for a jewel, he's going to find a jewel. You know what I'm saying? You listen to Master P and you see how his life story came up and how he made it to where he's at. That's a lesson in life. That's not nothing that you're supposed to be like, yo, he's bad, he's this, he's that. That's a lesson in life for all of us. You know what I mean? And America itself, to me, is the same. It's an American dream. They came over here. The worst people from Europe sent them over here, you know what I mean? Wild, wicked land, whatever. They tamed the land, made it the strongest country in the world, you know what I mean? And that's what we doing. We the last people in this country to even come up, you know what I mean? And personally, we started from zero, you know what I mean? But we put one beside that zero and multiplied ourselves, man. And we right here.
Well, I think me with my videos, what you gonna see, I'm constantly trying to grow. Right now, I got a all rap animated video, and I'm trying to keep up with technology. I mean, I don't have to stand on the corner with the Jews. I mean, I've been there, done that. But as a kid growing up, that was a thing a couple of years ago. But now it's turning into a man, turning into an adult. You know, I'm changing with the time, and if you want to be around, you got to keep up with the times, and you got to change.
One more question, please. Sorry, Pete. One more question.
As you see the new, like, almost like a new understanding of how our community is moving forward, how do you see like a new renaissance within the hip hop movement that we saw around like the mid '80s?
Oh yeah, I mean I think it's about to do a 360-degree turn because we got to. I mean time always changes, and like RZA say, whether it be in space or be here, we got to constantly keep on changing. I mean, who would ever think that we'll be where we at right now? Being able to talk to Reverends. I mean, me and RZA, we come from two different worlds. Dave Mays. I mean, all us just getting together. I mean, nobody would never thought that that would happen, and it is, and it happened today. And now what people got to realize now is let us be ourselves and let everybody grow, and everybody got to, I think, got to look at their own problems and their own issues. And rap is just a part of our culture now. What people starting to see it is that is a part of the community with the kids. So now they got serious. And now I think the only part that is serious because it's an issue we got suburban kids listening to music now. It ain't just us listening to music. If it was just us, then we probably wouldn't have a problem. You know, I mean, it's almost like being in the hood. I mean, crack in the hood, was that in the hood? Nobody cared about it. When it got in the suburbs, we had to try to fix the problem. And I think right now what's happening there is it's time for us, now they see the problem that is everybody is a part of rap music. So now they want it fixed. And so our thing is we not a part of that solution. We a part of our own world. I mean, what me, Dave, and Riz and all us have made up, we trying to change our world so when people look at us 10 years from now, they say, you know what, we created something that was worthy for to be viewed tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much. If you guys would kindly just be careful, then turn around and go out.